Anyway, let's look at this. Let's look at this beautiful face here.
Muslims living in Britain and Muslims living in Canada, Muslims living in Australia, Muslims living in the Muslim lands. Where is your vision for the next 50 years? We can have a global vision and we can have a local vision. I believe we should have at least 3 prime ministers in the next 50 years, right? In Britain and in Canada. This is the...
In Britain and in Canada. At least 3 prime ministers in Britain and in Canada. He also mentioned Australia along the way. So he didn't mention US, as Storm D points out here. Probably because in the US there is not much of a big Muslim influence. Or
and we don't even have prime ministers here. We have a king.
That's true. We have a dictator, and this is how we do things over here. We have a dictatorship system. If you want to have if you want to propose a Muslim dictator, we're not going to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, and you don't even have the correct lineage.
That's true.
Right? Kings get kings. You know, you got a king, and then you got his son becomes the next king, and then his little son. You got this like Russian nesting doll situation, and so it's not going to work.
Speaking of kings and dictators, don't you think it's time to slowly move toward a better system? Because democracy kind of seems like a failure, given how these guys quickly try to take it over. Maybe we should just abolish it all and go back to having absolute monarchies or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, the founding fathers of the U.S. gave all sorts of warnings about, hey, if you get the wrong kind of population, this will not work. It will not work. This will fail. This entire system will fail. This is made for a certain kind of people. If you do not have that kind of people, this system is going to break down. And the reasoning would apply to various democracies. And so, yep.
That is bigly true.
So we need a dictator.
We do.
We need a good old-fashioned dictator.
We do, inshallah. Look at his beautiful face.
Wow, look at this.
Going towards in Britain and in Canada. This is the solution. This is going towards a positive revival of the Muslim Ummah.
I want to see
a positive revival of the Muslim Ummah.
We want our caliphate back, and we have our caliphate that you took from us because you beat us because we were so weak.
Now these 2 clowns have something to add here. Let's see.
The Muslim Ummah.
I want to see the whole world led by a just Khalifa. And there's no...
Did he say led by Mia Khalifa?
Yeah, he wants the whole world led by Mia Khalifa, which is just very... And he says there's no shame in saying that. Really? There's no shame in saying that?
Seriously, dude? Seriously,
that's a little bit
their ultimate heroes are Andrew Tate, a pornographer, and Mia Khalifa, a porn star. Great guys, doing an awesome job, Ummah.
What an embarrassing thing to say! And he really says there is no shame in saying that. I have some shame, man.
Yeah, have some shame. But she has big. But she has big zaboobas. This proves she is very holy and righteous in Islam, and she should lead the Ummah with her big zaboobas.
This is true. Mia Khalifa is their queen. Speaking of monarchies and all that, maybe they could start there. They could start with her. Yeah. So this is what he says. What Adnan Rashid says about Muslims taking over, and just want everyone to remember what his precise thoughts are. His precise thoughts are, in this case, that that this is a long-term vision, that Muslims should be taking over by installing prime ministers in countries where they have the means to do that, where they have the means to install their own leaders. So they are supposed to take advantage of democracies and then install their own leaders and have Muslims in charge. This is the funny thing. Like this is literally Islamization. There was a decade ago or so, or I don't know, maybe a decade ago, if you said in European countries that there is an Islamization ongoing, you were just called a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Yep, you were called an Islamophobe, a bigot, a racist, and the only possible reason for you to say that, hey, there are people here who actually want to take over your country and so on. The only possible basis for saying that was you're just racist against brown people, not because you're reading the Muslim sources and seeing that Islam calls for the violent subjugation of the entire world. Couldn't possibly be because of that. You just have a problem with brown people.
And that's most likely true. Most likely true. Otherwise, why would you point out that there is an Islamization going on? However, now we have Muslims like this guy openly sharing the plan with us. I mean, he's not even saying it would be good. He's not saying this is what should be happening. He's not saying in an ideal future or anything like that. He says this is a plan.
Mm-hmm.
This is a vision for the future.
And by the way, I mean, keep in mind, it didn't come out of nowhere, right? They tested the waters for years. So they had terrorist attacks for years. And the more terrorist attacks they launched, the more politicians and journalists defended them and propped them up and said how great their religion was. And then you eventually get to the point where you Ali Dawa tests the waters and says, yeah, when we take over, we're gonna kill these apostates, yeah, and we're gonna chop their heads off, and we're all gonna be watching and eating popcorn, yeah, in there, and we're proud of that. And then you'd think, oh, now the cat's out of the bag. Now people are gonna have a problem with Islam. I mean, they are talking about chopping the heads off of tons of people because of their religious beliefs. But obviously, this is going to be a problem. Wrong. They defend Islam even more. And so they've just realized it does not matter what we do. We can blow them up daily. We can go on stabbing sprees daily. We can announce our plans daily. We can talk about all the people we're going to kill and slaughter daily. We can do this. They will not, under any circumstances, take a stand against it because they've been programmed that the only way anyone would object to any of this is because of racism and Islamophobia. And so now they can shout it from the rooftops.
Shout it from the rooftops.